Welcome back. You're watching the Independent Republican Mike Graham, an academic and former Labour councillor who called for someone to blow up a conference planned by the Jewish Labour movement, has called it a joke. She's apologised and said it was a terrible mistake in awful taste. You're kidding me. Harriet Bradley, a former Bristol councillor, posted above a post on X advertising new speakers confirmed for the conference in London next month. And some of those speakers included Shadow Cabinet members Wes Streeting, Bridget Phillipson and Pat McFadden, and a range of other high-profile Labour figures. It's quite extraordinary that somebody with a profile in the Labour Party, a political party, would put something like that out on social media. Joining me now to discuss this and lots more is barrister and writer Steven Barrett. Good evening, Steven. Very nice to see you.
Hi, it's an honour to be here.
Well, listen, I've been trying to get you on this show for quite a long time, so I'm very glad that we finally managed to do it. As ever, the anti-Semitism movement becomes ever more incredible to me. When somebody showed me this earlier on this afternoon, I thought this must be some kind of ridiculous parody. Surely to God, you wouldn't have somebody who was an academic attached to a university actually saying, let's blow up the building. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's an offence apart from anything else.
Yes, well, I mean, two points. I mean, the first one is just to remember, because I don't really like the fact that it's called anti-Semitism, because I wonder why we separate one type of racism out from another type of racism. It's just racism. Yes. That's all it is. You know, it's anti-Jewish racism, and all racism is a pernicious human evil. I mean, it's monstrous. All racism is horrendous. And so I don't know how it's come back. But the second point is it's very important to remember that the leader of this gentleman's party, Keir Starmer, prosecuted the chap who sent the tweet about the Robin Hood airport in Nottingham, which was a joke. Yeah, this is in, I mean, personal subjective opinion, but there is nothing funny about calling for this event to be blown up. I mean, it's obviously a monstrous thing to do, but you know, the leader of his party prosecuted somebody for far less than this.
Yes. Well,
where are the prosecutions?
So you're absolutely right to talk about it being racism, but the febrile atmosphere that we currently live in, which includes the Metropolitan Police saying that they're going to be, you know, helping Jewish communities in this country to celebrate Hanukkah. I mean, this has never been a problem as far as I know. I mean, I grew up in North London. I've always had very many Jewish friends in London. I went to live in New York, and I said this on the show yesterday. For 10 years I was there, and I considered myself an honorary Jew for living there because New York used to be very much the kind of, the very big Jewish centre of American society. But I now look at New York, the city I used to live in, and despair, where people are fighting members of the NYPD. I just don't quite understand it. Tonight I'm looking at something that you may not have seen yet, but a sort of a baying mob of people shouting and screaming at Keir Starmer as he's walking down the road, you know, because they're from a pro-Palestinian march. And you're thinking, where is it? When is this going to stop?
Yeah, and, you know, when humans are at the point where they're baying, that's a bad point. Yes. And, you know, in many ways, this is ridiculous. I mean, we all decided very long ago that anti-Jewish racism was wrong. I mean, I appreciate I'm not in the first flush of youth, but, you know, I went to an anti-Holocaust thing when I must have been 11. I mean, this is ages ago. We all know that this is absolutely wrong. How on earth have people managed to get themselves into this position? Allegedly intelligent people. Yeah. And the real oddity, Mike, is that the people of Gaza are also the victims of Hamas. So this is just absurd. You can't say I hate Jews in order to protect the people of Gaza. Well, I mean, you can. Humans can do anything, but that's not a rational position. Yeah. Because the people of Gaza are also victims. We had evidence yesterday. We've seen compelling evidence that the ordinary people of Gaza are having their aid stolen, their fuel stolen by these terrorist monsters. And so it's simply irrational to harass Keir Starmer because I think he's done very little. But, you know, I don't understand how we've got here or what we're doing. No. But it's clearly very wrong. It is. I like to not be political in public, and I used to only have a few things that I would talk about. But from the 7th of October, fighting anti-Jewish racism is something that this is just absolutely wrong. I mean, unlike you, I grew up in rural Worcestershire, so I'd actually never met a Jew until I went to university. My first boyfriend was a Jew. And I just got on. There's just nice people. This is good. I mean, as so many types of people are. I mean, this is.
Well, I mean, I remember. I mean, we've all got our crosses to bear. I mean, I went to Catholic school for my sins, and it wasn't until I went to an FE college when I was about 18, having just done my O levels and wanting to go and do different A levels, that I realised there were people in the world who weren't Catholic, because literally that was the only group of people that I'd met, and it was a brilliant sort of discovery. It wasn't like, oh my God, these people are dreadful. They're all different. You know, it was kind of an eye opener. But I wonder where. You say we don't know how we got here, but how do we get back away from it? How do we recover sanity?
Rules. It's that simple.
Laws.
We need to return to clear rules which are enforced. That's how you return to sanity. If you look at something like the BBC, it's collapsing because the rules around impartiality are not clear.
Right.
Once you make a rule, and I don't have. You make it fat with words. Yeah. It has too many words,
right.
And then all of a sudden there's doubt, and you've instituted doubt into what the rule is, and then people don't know what it is, so you get no enforcement, and then bad people who are eternally attuned to just sort of noticing when goodness is in a state of weakness go, oh, I'll be more bad.
Yes,
you know, and that's what we're seeing with these marches. Every week they get worse. Every week, because of the inactivity of the Metropolitan Police, they get worse.
Yeah.
And today was pretty bad. I think I would estimate a 4-year-old, he might be 5, holding a megaphone, being made to hold a megaphone, saying absolutely hatred and hateful things. Now, I know children. Children are not evil, so that child is not inherently filled with that. They're just chanting what they're told to chant. But until we deal with this, until somebody stands up and actually, you know, arrests someone, then we're never going to get. It's going to get worse. I remember you say New York, so you'll know better than me, but New York got itself into a terrible place in sort of the 80s and the 90s, and it fell into absolute sort of chaos. And the only way out of it was clear rules, strongly enforced.
Yeah. I remember it well because I was living there at the time. Steven, listen, we're out of time, but I'd love to get you back on. We've got much to do, much to discuss, much to talk about. So we'll see you soon. Steven Barrett, thank you very much indeed.